Hello and welcome back to my video series where I'm talking about the iaomai healing system, which is a system of healing that I've created out of the system of Heilkunst and homeopathy. And I decided I would do this series because, I've been practicing for over 17 years, hard to believe. However, what's interesting is even though homeopathy has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and, the Queen uses homeopathy and loves homeopathy, and there's tons of people that use homeopathy, and yes, it gets poo-pooed by the mainstream basically because we're taking away money from their drug pockets. Whatever the reason is, I don't know why homeopathy, has so many misconceptions. And maybe it is, and I'm just going to put this out there, maybe it is because there are a lot of people who are into alternatives that really don't understand the science behind what alternatives are using and why. And I will admit that I'm actually a science buff. So when I got into using alternatives, I needed to know why they worked, how they work, and the science behind it. I didn't want to just know, well, it's natural and it doesn't hurt you, so it's all good. No, I needed to know, why does it work? I'm a huge questioner of everything, and I research everything. So I thought, because there's so many misconceptions, and even in the 17 years I've been practicing, it always amazes me when somebody comes to my office, or they come to my website, or they message me on Facebook or whatever, interested in the kits, asking how they use them and so on. And some of the things that they come up with, I realize that, I would not have thought of that. But nope, that's not how they work, and that's not what they are. So I'm going to start doing a couple of videos because I don't want them to be like super long, but I thought this week I'd start to dispel some of the crazy myths that are circulating around about homeopathic and tonic remedies. And one of the biggest ones I see, and interestingly enough, is I really didn't see this one until I was going to some big companies to help me rebrand. And so they would look at my website and they'd look at the pictures that I had on there. And I've had that website for like 8 to 10 years and wondering why I'm not getting a ton of sales. What was so funny is there's a lot of young millennials and young couples that are having kids and stuff. They're all starting to really get into alternatives, which I think is amazing. But like I said, educate yourself. To me, knowledge is power. You cannot take away any knowledge you've gained by dint of your own effort. I think it's one of the most important things in life. So when doing these videos, I want to give you knowledge and some useful information so that you don't feel like this is a woo, crazy hippie, healing system. That's not what this is about. This is actually follows natural laws and principles, and I'll get into those in another video. But this video, I just wanted to help break up some misconceptions. And one of the biggest ones is that these are not essential oils, okay? So these remedies are homeopathic and tonic remedies that are, made either in liquid form. That's the stock bottles that I often get from all the pharmacopoeias that I use. And then I create my own combinations based on my 17 years of experience and they go in these kits. So each kit is based on my 35 years of knowledge and 17 years in practice, where I've found the best remedy combinations that have worked phenomenally every time to safely and effectively remove your not only physical symptoms, but your mental and emotional, the state behind those symptoms as well. What I want to make sure you understand is that these remedies are they're not essential oils, they're not herbal tinctures, they are their own unique combinations and they're made in their own unique way. So every homeopathic remedy is made in a pharmacopoeia, and they are made by taking a substance in chemical form. So you could take an herb and you could take a piece of that herb and then you ground it down and you macerate it so that it becomes either a liquid or a powder, and then you place that liquid or a little bit of powder into a liquid container, and that's how they're made. So they take so you could take a drop of an herbal extract and put it into a container of 99 drops of water, which is a 30 to 70% alcohol. So 30% alcohol, 70% distilled water, and 99 drops. Exactly that if you want a C-scale remedy. I can go into all the different ways that they make the different scales and the different potencies and so on. I do that though in my homeopathy course. So if you, and my iaomai healing course, if you really want to, get deeper into the science of all of this, please take the course. It's super cheap. You get all kinds of information with it. It's totally worth it, which I'll put the link below. For now, basically understanding that when you're making a homeopathic or tonic remedy, and tonic simply means that the remedy is based on, we're prescribing for your state more than you are the symptomology. That's what homeopathy stands for, similar symptoms. So we're treating your symptoms with something that resonates with it on a similar scale. Okay, so when you grab a homeopathic remedy, they have taken a stock of something, diluted it, which is how Dr. Hahnemann, who created this system 300 years ago, understood that if you take a substance away from its physical form repeatedly over and over and over, then you get something that has the same vibratory energy or essence of itself, but not physical at all. It just is that energetic form. And again, so you can certainly do more research on quantum physics, the energy of the science of energy. If you want to really understand what a homeopathic really is, it's just a substance that's diluted and succussed and taken away further and further and further from the physical, but it still has an energetic essence. One of the things I always talk about, and I talk about this in my course, is that a cat's purr has a frequency that's the exact frequency that reduces inflammation. Interesting. So a cat's purr has a very specific frequency, and that frequency helps the body to eliminate any inflammation in the body, which is why they actually are drawn to negative energy spaces, whereas dogs are attracted to only positive energy spaces. So if you have a cat that constantly lays in the same spot in your house, there's probably a lot of negative energy there. It can be negative frequency from cell towers or all kinds of underground water or electric cables, anything like that. They're actually attracted to that because they kind of diffuse it, which is interesting. So again, tons and tons of science. I'm not going to go into all of that in this video and overwhelm you, but there is science behind how homeopathics are made, and they've been created for hundreds of years, and they do work by energetic laws. That's what I want you to understand, is they are different than simply an herbal tincture or an essential oil, which act completely different in the body. So when you take a homeopathic remedy into your mouth, the initial action is a nanosecond. It just, once it's in your mouth, it touches the nerves in your mouth, and it goes right into your central nervous system. Unlike herbs or food or drugs, where you have to digest them and assimilate them, which is why we get side effects from those sorts of things, because they can counteract and interact with each other. Whereas no matter how many drugs or herbs you're taking, a homeopathic remedy will not counteract or interact with them whatsoever, because the direct contact in your mouth is what sends it off to the central nervous system, and it goes to do what it needs to do. So you don't have to digest and assimilate it, which is why I absolutely love this system. It's the one that I fell upon in my own healing journey, and it's the one that I utilize the most because it's the safest. It truly is, and it's not a placebo. It actually is working by certain laws, which I will get into over time. I just don't want to overwhelm you in this episode. I just wanted to let you know that they are not essential oils and they are not herbal tinctures. Those are different. So thank you for listening and following along this week with this video on diffusing some of the misconceptions around homeopathy and tonic remedies and pathic remedies. And again, I'll get further into that as this video series goes along. But for now, what misconception do you have? Have you tried homeopathy? Have you not? Why didn't you if you haven't? Is there something you're afraid of or uncertain about? Let me know in the comments below, or go to my Facebook page, Holistic Healthcare. I would love to know, why are you not trying homeopathy when, of course, in my mind, it is literally one of the safest, most effective tools you can use. I have so many people who've never tried homeopathy, and when I give them some remedies for the very first time, even for a cough or a headache or something like that, that they would have just run to the drugstore for, they actually end up commenting later that, oh my God, that worked so well. And knowing that I'm not damaging my organs using this was a bonus. Anyway, thank you for listening this week, and hopefully you follow along, subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of these amazing videos, and let me know, what struggles have you had with homeopathy, what misconceptions, and I will go into some more next week. Until then, have a health-inspiring day. Bye. So for a quick recap, the iaomai remedies that I create come from stock homeopathic remedies that are made in pharmacopoeias around the world under very strict guidelines, following Dr. Hahnemann's science and rules for dilution and succussion. I then infuse my combinations onto organic, lactose-free, and vegan sugar pellets for specific use to be taken directly on the tongue, either direct or diluted in water. Whereas essential oils are the extracted oils from specific plants that are used topically and through our sense of smell. Herbal tinctures or extracts are created by taking the physical leaves, flowers, berries, bark, or roots of a plant known to have healing properties. The physical substance is then soaked for a period of time in alcohol for tinctures or vinegar, water, or glycerin for extracts. Then the physical substance is drained off to leave only the liquid full of the plant's liquid substance and qualities, to be taken internally as a physical assimilation similar to a tea or supplement. All three of these are essentially different in their quality and quantity and dosing. Thanks for listening. Hope this helps clear things up. If it doesn't, please reach out to me and I'm happy to answer your questions.